Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The Three Muslim Festivals, written by Aminah Ibrahim Ali, illustrated by Alden Hadzik. So this book talks about three festivals: Ramadan, Eid al-Fitr, and Eid al-Adhah. I'm going to read only Eid al-Fitr part from this book because Ramadan is already over, and we will read Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha later on. Eid al-Fitr. Musa's heart leapt as the car climbed uphill. It was the end of Ramadan and they were going to see the Eid moon. A warm breeze rushed into his shirt and puffed it out like a balloon. "Will we have to fast on Eid?" he asked. "No, son," his mother answered. "Eid is the day of celebration." They were soon at the top of the hill overlooking the city. Tiny trees and grey rooftops darkened as the sun set. "Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar." A tall man faced east and made the call to prayer. During Ramadan, the call to prayer, Adhan, at sunset also meant that it was time to break the fast. This Adhan announced the end of Ramadan and beginning of the celebration of Eid al-Fitr. "Look, look! Is that it?" Fatma uttered excitedly and pointed her trembling fingers upward. A hush fell over the crowd and everybody stopped to look. Sure enough, the thin moon glimmered in the blue-black sky. "It looks like a fingernail," Musa declared, breathless with happiness. So in Islamic calendar, the new month begins with the sighting of new moon. The month of Ramadan ends and a new month, Shawwal, begins. When people see the new moon for the month of Shawwal, the next day is the Eid day. Eid al-Fitr is celebrated the next day. Dad steered the car into a part of town Musa had never seen before and stopped at a small wooden house. A dim light flickered on the porch. Musa could smell bread baking. "Who lives here?" he asked. "A poor family," Mom explained as his father went inside. "We must give them something to eat so that Allah will accept our fast. It will also help them to share in the Eid celebrations." So when Muslims see the moon of the Eid or the new month, they have to give some money in charity to poor people so they can celebrate or participate in the celebration of Eid, because Eid is a day for all poor, rich, all Muslims around the world. They celebrate this day. That night, Musa decorated the house with orange balloons while Fatima arranged bunches of sweet-smelling roses. In the kitchen, Mom poured fruity cake batters into pans. Musa's mouth watered. His eyes burned as he watched Dad crush fresh ginger in chives. "Turn on the television," Dad instructed him. The Muslims are airing a program on Ramadan. The program showed Muslims eating the sahur, the early morning meal before dawn to make them strong for the fast. Families were filmed reading the Tarawih prayer, which were prayed every night in the mosques during Ramadan. "We may or may not live to experience another blessed month of Ramadan," Dad said. His eyes glistened with tears. "We can only hope that Allah will accept the fast that we kept." It was 5 o'clock on a silent Eid morning. An icy chill raced down Musa's spine. His heart thumped hard. As he burst into the kitchen, family embraced one another with greetings of the holy day. Musa and Fatima exchanged Eid cards with their parents. Musa's was colorful and he had written out with the greetings himself. Dad read it loudly. May Allah accept your fast and may He give you a happy Eid. Eid is a joyous day, he said. It was a practice of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to go out and enjoy this wonderful day. Hurry up, Mom urged as they finished praying the Fajr Salah. We have to be at Masjid by 7 o'clock. Eid Salah will be starting at 8. Musa leapt out of a steamy shower and looked around for his clothes. He hopped about the room wrapped in a towel, but the clothes he had laid out had disappeared. His legs shivered. Mom, he called, Mom. In here, Musa, his mother answered from the living room. On the couch there was a cream-colored suit with a chocolate brown jacket. Musa swallowed hard. He didn't know what to say. For me? He asked. He ran to hug his parents. From the loving way his mother's eyes were shining, Musa knew that she had sewn it. Thank you, he exclaimed. The fabric was soft under his fingers. So people wear new clothes on the day of Eid. That's also part of celebrating the day. As the car rolled to the masjid, Musa recited takbir softly and reverently, as his father had shown him. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah. God is the greatest, God is the greatest. There is no God but God. The rising sun cleared the morning mist and made the air crisp. They soon halted in front of the green masjid's door. People greeted one another with joy. Musa went to sit in the front row with his father. The Imam began to recite softly. Musa listened carefully and soon caught the words from his dad. They recite in praise of Prophet, his companions, and his family. They asked Allah to bless them all. Musa loved the chanting. It grew louder and louder as more and more people arrived. The Eid prayer began at last. The Imam's voice poured out rich and sweet like honey. When we give the charity specific to this blessed holiday, Zakat al-Fitr, to the less fortunate people, it purifies us from the mistakes we made while fasting. We could not enjoy the Eid al-Fitr if our neighbors did not have food and new clothes. Friends and relatives, young and old, embraced afterwards. They pressed dollar bills and gifts into Musa's hands. He felt that he might explode with happiness, but some people looked sad. They missed their relatives who are not alive this year, Mom whispered to him. On Eid, we must remember to pray for those of our relatives and friends who have passed away. The once empty cars parked outside were now crammed with excited people. One by one, the vehicles rumbled along the city streets. Musa clapped his hands together loudly. They were going to the amusement park. So people can go to carnivals, they can go to parks, they can have fun because it's a day of celebration. Laughing families strolled along the boardwalk. The sun danced off the sparkling sapphire lake, and Musa felt like he was flying. Older children rode the noisy roller coaster, the younger ones rode the Ferris wheel. They ate cotton candy and popcorn and sipped cold drinks. Sweat trickled down Musa's cheeks, his heart pounded, and his head spun. Everyone smiled and joked. Eid Mubarak. They wished each other a blessed holiday to you. That's what Eid Mubarak means. When they got home, Fatima carefully spread the lace tablecloths over the tables and Musa laid out trays of chocolates and biscuits. Mom cooked spicy chicken, bread, and rice. In the living room, Daddy tossed the scotch tape to Musa. Cut this into small pieces for me, he said. Musa helped him wrap dozens of toys and boxes of candies. When their guests marched in, the house shone like a jewel. Dad passed around gifts to the giggling children. Aunt Masuma gave Fatima a silk scarf and Musa got a tiny airplane with real windows. The air was filled with aroma of delicious food and the hum of relatives and friends having a good time. Musa thought about the families who had received Zakatul Fitr. Because of Allah's kindness, all the poor children were also eating tasty food and receiving gifts. Thank Allah, they were having a happy Eid al-Fitr too. So on the day of Eid, people also visit each other, friends and families, they go to visit each other, have food together, exchange gifts, and this is how the Eid day is celebrated. When the last guest had gone, Musa's family prayed the night prayer together. Dad had a special prayer of thanks and praise. Then Musa and his father sat down together on the big sofa. They didn't need to say much. They spoke softly about the day and their hopes for the coming years. Musa couldn't wait for Ramadan and Eid al-Fitr to come again. Before he could finish his thought, his eyes fell shut and he was sound asleep.